Good morning, everybody. My name is Rachel Snyder. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I am here to add a little sparkle to the everyday. Mostly we talk about makeup and we do tutorials and things like that. But today I am starting a series that's going to be a little more educational, a little more chatty. And it's about busting skincare myths because there are so many out there. And it can be really easy to not know what's true, what isn't true, and to know what works best for you. So we're gonna start by talking about a really common one that I actually have dealt with myself. And it's that the idea that you shouldn't moisturize if you have oily skin. Okay, so I've always had oily skin, primarily in the T-zone. My cheeks are pretty normal. They're not dry. They're definitely normal and even almost more towards oily. And so I was the classic oily face girl. Now, a lot of people say, well, then you shouldn't moisturize because your skin is producing oil. And so that is all that you need. So a lot of people say that I didn't need a moisturizer, right? That I don't need to add any moisture to my face. I just need to remove the excess oil, right? I need to use things like masks that will clear out my pores, like a charcoal mask. And I need to use astringents and cleansers for oily skin, things like that. And that's true. I do need that. But there is a problem with that theory. And the problem is that if you start over stripping your skin of moisture and of your oils, then your pores are actually going to go into overtime, producing more oil and producing more and more. And so it becomes a vicious cycle, right? You strip the moisture, your skin begins to overproduce. You strip that moisture, your skin overproduces more oil, and it goes around and around and around. Now, my skin never got very bad because I did always use a moisturizer because I'm absolutely insistent on having an SPF on. Because I'm, well, fair and I don't want skin cancer. So I've always used a moisturizer. And I thought, well, I use a moisturizer, that's enough. However, I was pretty oily still, and I was using things like this charcoal mask and an astringent. And I was occasionally getting breakouts that didn't really make sense. And I just didn't know what was going on. And so kind of on a whim, I was like, let me just try something I've never tried before. And I actually bought this moisture mask, and that is when my skin really changed. I wore it for like 20 minutes and I took it off and I went, oh my gosh, is that how my skin is supposed to feel? And I thought, well, that's nice, but let's see, you know, what happens if I'm all broken out tomorrow or if I'm just super oily all day. And what I actually found is that didn't happen. And so the more consistently that I used this bad boy, the less oil my skin produced. And so I actually am a lot less oily now than I used to be because my skin is properly hydrated. And that made all the difference in the world. Now, I do still tend to get clogged pores more than someone that might get dry skin. So I still use some of the other stuff like the charcoal mask, but I don't have to use it as often. And I make sure to follow it up with something that is hydrating. Okay, so I actually right now what I do, since it's winter time where I currently am, and it's actually been quite cold. Texas had a giant blizzard. And so it's been very cold and very dry. But I use this and I sleep in it. I actually use it like it's a moisturizer and I sleep in it once a week. And that has kept my skin fully hydrated, and it has really brought kind of a glow to my face that I didn't have before. And it's because my pores aren't starving for moisture. So if you are currently someone with really oily skin, or maybe your skin has become oily after you started wearing a mask, and you just keep trying to strip that oil, try the reverse approach. Try the reverse approach. Try adding moisture instead. So if you are classically oily, you've always been oily, this will probably be something that you can try and something that may take some time to do. But if the oil is something that's new to you, maybe you've recently gone through a big event. Maybe it's 2020 or 2021 and we are still in a pandemic, and that's stressful. That can all cause your skin to produce more oil. And so hydrating instead of stripping can be a good way to counteract that, especially if you're finding the oil is produced from wearing a mask, right? Maybe you're getting acne along here. We're calling it maskne now. Maybe if you're getting that, try adding moisture instead of just stripping the oil from your face. It makes a big difference. It helps significantly from what I have found. Now, if you are dry, we will talk to you next week. But that is my little tip for today. One skincare myth busted, and I will see you all next week. Y'all have a great day, and leave any comments that you have below, and feel free to ask questions for future episodes.